Over the holidays, I was given a vision of the Four Horsemen, and unbeknown to me at the time, I didn't really understand what it represented, and I found it a bit disconcerting. I had these four horsemen, hooded horsemen, faceless, heading towards me, galloping towards me, and I was kind of taken aback. As always, with me and these visions, it was and has a biblical context, is part of a biblical prophecy. And so I'm going to try and unpack the meaning of that the best way I can. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back to Oak Lore Duir. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so the Four Horsemen, as I said, it was a bit disconcerting at the time because I've kind of just had these four horsemen charging towards me. Now, I've since looked it up, and it's the four horsemen of the apocalypse in the book of Revelations. And this really brings in for me a lot of the pieces of my puzzle of the information that I've been getting over the years. Back in 2017, and I talked about it with the solar flare video that I did back last year, because it's what I'm finding, it's for me, it's all connecting. I will encourage all of you to sit with the information that I share and meditate with it and attune your own energies and only take what resonates. But for me, it all feels connected. It's like a pathway. It's like it's starting to all unfold. And when we talk about the apocalypse, I'm not talking about the end of the world. The end of the world is nigh. I'm really not into that. The end of the world as we know it, yes, but not the total destruction of the planet and humanity. I don't believe in that. That's not part of my belief system. I do believe that the biggest part of what I actually do is that we are going through a massive transition. We are going through a massive change. We are ascending. We are light beings, and we're starting to learn about that. We're starting to learn about vibrations. We're starting to learn about frequencies. And as we're learning, we are connecting to divine in a greater way. We are connecting to that Christ consciousness. I don't believe in religion per se, as in fixed religion as we have been taught it. And part of the Four Horsemen and part of what's actually being said in that prophecy is the falseness, the deceit of the Christ consciousness that will exist over the time, and we have seen it exist. Now, I'm not saying all of it is false. I'm not saying that religion is a bad thing. I don't believe it is. I believe religion gives solace to a lot of people. It gives a lot of hope to a lot of people. It can do a lot of good, but like everything that is touched by human hands, there is a polarity. There is the good, the bad. And so when I actually found out about these four, I'm going to be honest, because of the vision was so like, whoa, in my face, I did kind of recoil back from it, as I think anybody normal would, because it was a little bit full on. I can't actually say, when you actually read about the Four Horsemen, if you haven't and you do Google it, it will tell you that there are four different colored horses. I didn't see that. I didn't see the faces. I didn't see the sword that is supposed to be carried by the first horseman on the white horse. I didn't see the red horse, the green horse, the black horse. I didn't see that. I'm not going to pretend I did. I just seen four horsemen charging towards me. And it was a bit scary. I'm going to be honest. It was a bit scary. But when I sat with it, when I meditated with it, when I did a little bit of research on what it was, and then I sat with that again and I meditated with that again. Okay, what does that mean for me? What is the information being brought for me? The biggest part that I got from that was how humanity is moving forward, how we can use the representations of those four horsemen within our psyche, within psychology. And I've actually done a podcast on that. So if you've not listened to that, I would recommend that you listen to that if you have an interest in this. That is over on Spiritual Midwife, the podcast. And I will put the link in the description box below so you can actually have a listen to that. And that kind of takes us through the process of moving away and taming the ego, moving away from that egoic state and taming the ego so that we can have a more balanced, more connected way of thinking about ourselves in our lives and how we actually present ourselves to the world, to the planet, to each other. So I would actually recommend you do that. That is a big part of what that was coming in as a big part of my mission, a big part of what I do, apart from creating these videos, is I actually help people step into their soul sovereignty. I help people uncover and discover and embrace their truths. And that is tied in with this because there was another vision that came a couple of days later, which I will do another video on, but I will be doing several videos on this whole revelations, because when I started digging into the Four Horsemen and the revelations and the prophecy, I was taken back to a time in 2017 where Revelations 12 was very big and the planetary alignments, and I was very involved in that. Spirit had me very involved with understanding that prophecy. 12 has always been a very big number for me. There's always been an affiliation to the number 12 ever since I've started my spiritual journey, and I didn't fully understand it. And I'm not going to be honest, I don't fully understand it now. I just kind of go with the flow, as it were. And as those pieces fall in, I've got a lot better at going with the flow and allowing the pieces to just come in as and when they're supposed to, and then allowing myself the space and the place to start to put that picture together. And that is what these videos are going to be about. And they will be videos because I don't want them to be too long, because there's a lot of information to uncover. What if this is resonating with you? Go away and read. I will put some links in the description box below, and read and watch videos about the Four Horsemen in the apocalypse. Now, apocalypse, what I found really interesting, stems from the Greek word apocalypse, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, which actually means revelations. And so it's not a coincidence to me that these prophecies were actually depicted in the book of Revelations. This also ties in, what I'm finding as I've done the research, this also ties in with the solar flare information that came in around and about the Lionsgate of last year, and I did a video on that, and I was given a message about the importance of the solar flares and the symptoms that the solar flares would bring, and the fact that the solar flares will reach their peak in 2024. And as I do other videos, 2024 is a very significant year with the planetary alignments and the movement of Pluto into Aquarius, which is when it does that, what we're actually gaining is a year, is not just a year, we're going to be having 19 years, it is this time, about 19 years, give or take, of transformation. But within that transformation, again, you're going to have those polarities. There will be good transformation and there will be bad transformation. Around September time, which is interesting because we're in that Leo again, and Leo, the fire energy, the element of fire has been massive. Anybody who knows me, anybody who follows me will know that the year before last, I actually did my fire walking training, instructor training, and I needed a lot of time to embody and understand the lessons that the fire was trying to give me. And yet here we are again, we've got that fire element coming forward, and it feels connected. It all feels connected. It's all part of my truth, and I don't fully understand what that truth is. I'm not and I actually implore all of you not to worry if you can't see the whole picture. As I said, I'm very much into, I've always said to people, journal, journal, journal. When you get given these tidbits, when you're inspired to look something up, when you're inspired to learn something, like I was inspired to go and do that training, there is always a reason. There is always a lesson in there. There is always a truth within that. We don't always see it immediately, but it does unfold. It's our job to give it the space to allow it to unfold. It's our job to document it down, because it's very easy to forget all these little tidbits. But when you jot them down, when you keep a journal and date it and time it, when you actually do that, you can start to pull these pieces in. It was, as I said, in 2017, the whole Revelations 12 and the planetary alignments that were going on there with the last judgment were very, very big and very prevalent in my journey at that time. I remember I was connected with people. I'm not going to say I was actually doing it, because I wasn't, but I was connected with people that were anchoring the crystal grids on and over the planet. They were anchoring the new crystal grids as the planet changed and shifted into 5-dimensional reality. And that was the earth itself, the physicality of the earth was changing. Obviously, we have all these dimensions available to us, all these vibrations available to us. They exist coherently and simultaneously within the cosmos, but our understanding of it at that time and the shifting of the energies at that time called for people that were much more knowledgeable than me to anchor those grids into place. And it was a big time. It was a big learning curve and a big learning space and place for me, and the whole Revelations 12 with that 12 numeration and some of the biblical information that was coming out at the time really resonated with me in a very big way. So in this, from this video, what I'd like you to do is to just sit with the information that I've shared here and ask yourself, is this something for me? Is this something I need to explore? Is this something I need to dig into deeper? And if that is a yes, then is this something I need to know as an external factor, or something I need to know as an internal factor? If you get internal, then please go away and listen to the podcast Spiritual Midwife, episode 5, where I discuss in depth the different aspects, the different representations, the metaphors, if you like, of what each of those 4 horsemen represent, and how we can actually use that within our own psychology and really elevating our mental capacity, changing, very much like the Four Agreements, how we can adapt our life so that we become more aligned to our soul self being. If it's an external inclination, then keep watching the videos. I'm going to break it up into smaller videos, and my next one will be another vision that I had over the holidays, and then I will be doing the Revelations 12, the Last Judgment of 2017. I'm going to revisit that so there's understanding there, and then we're going to bring it forward, and we're going to bring in the information from NASA regarding the solar flares, because I truly believe it's all connected. We will also bring in information about the seven seals, which is also another biblical context, another religious context, and I don't fully understand that. So I will be bringing in videos from experts that have gone into that, but it's just so that you can, it's a story that's unfolding, it's a prophecy that's unfolding, and I implore you that as we unfold this, obviously I will be giving my understanding, but I implore you to sit with the information that resonates and derive your understanding. Each of us has an individual truth, and I truly believe this is what Jesus Christ was trying to teach us, not to follow as sheep, but to be the leaders of our own soul sovereignty, to understand ourselves and our individual connection to divine, whilst being connected collectively. We are all one, but we're one individual within that collective. We're one speck of uniqueness within the collective. And so it's very important that if you're going to follow these videos, that you also have the discernment to trust and follow your own inner essence, your own inner knowing, your own vibrations, what your body energetically, vibrationally tells you is aligned with you. And so I'm going to leave it for that now. I shall see you on the next one. If you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Share if you feel it's appropriate to share with people and have discussions about it with others. This is about ascension. This is about Christ consciousness, as in the Christ within each of us. This is about finding our truth. And as I do more videos, this will start to unfold and make more sense in a much bigger way, hopefully, if I do it correctly. So, blessings to you all. See you on the next one. Take care until next time. Bye-bye.